This here is my 1976 Ford F250 Crewcab highboy. You can see here on my Marty report, it is one of 2,490 crew cabs, and all the way, it says 104. I don't really care about any of these numbers. I just really think it's 2,490 crew cabs in 1976. Four-wheel drive crew cabs, that is. I redid the interior in here as well. It has new carpet, sound editing underneath it. This is a floor shifter for a C6, and that same C6 has a full manual reverse pattern valve body inside of it, and it's a wide ratio, meaning has a first and second gear out of an E4OD, and then it has a fourth gear, or a third gear, which is a straight drive, the same as a fourth gear out of an E4OD. These cup holders come from 3D printed Ford parts. I have a twin stick NP205 transfer case shifter from JB Custom Fab. 3D printed Ford parts, 3D printed Ford parts, 3D printed Ford parts in the door pockets. I have 3D printed Ford part door speakers. It actually does have the original door panels, which is really cool. I also custom did this headliner. That is the stock headliner. I just put black carpet over it. And then these dome lights are actually really cheap LED strips that I just drilled a little tiny hole right there so that I could get all of the wiring around so that I could have good dome lights that actually lit up the thing. This steering wheel is actually out of a 78, 79 Bronco. It's an OEM Bronco Sport Ford steering wheel. This is a high compression 460 or a stock high compression 460. It's out of a 1970 Lincoln. It runs 10.5 to 1 compression. It is internally balanced. All 460s were internally balanced prior to 79, but this is the good almost race high performance 460 because it does run the higher compression. That carburetor is a custom built quick fuel dual fueler whatever carb that I bought. This is an HEI style distributor that I ran on front of the engine. I did put a different coil in it, and I had to recurve it to match the timing curve of a high compression 460. This is a one-wire alternator, and that is a Saginaw power steering pump that I also got from Left Eye Blind. This is a 4-core aluminum radiator, an Optima red top battery, a shock hazard for a battery cover. This engine, it is a little bit tuned up. It's got a nice little cam to it, a nice little lope to it, but it's nothing crazy. I can still drive it around town and stop at a stoplight without it wanting to fall on its face all the time. This was an Air Force pickup. I picked it up out of Montana off of a guy. It's pretty well all original, a little bit of crap done here and there. It's got 16x7 Ford OEM wheels off of a 1980s F250. These are era appropriate hubcaps, but these hubcaps were never offered for four-wheel drive, so they actually are cut out. It has bias ply 900 to 16 was how they ran the sizes. I don't know why. Cool thing under here is that is actually a Dana 60, but it's a low pinion Dana 60 with disc brakes, which was only an option for 76 and early 77 on the highboys. Prior to that, you could only get a highboy or a Dana 44 closed knuckle or a Dana 60 closed knuckle, but in 76 you get a disc brake. So this is probably one of the rarest Dana 60s, but one of the most worthless Dana 60s. As I said before, it has an NP205 transfer case, but you can see it's a true highboy because it does have a third drive shaft, that little jack shaft from the tail housing of the transmission to the transfer case, and the really long front drive shaft to the low pinion front axle.